Immigration without assimilation is invasion, and Islam does not assimilate. Islam conquers. Islam takes over. Islam devours. Islam is an imperialistic, parasitic ideology. Islam views itself as a conquering faith. You have to pray 5 times a day, pointing towards a separate nation, pledging fealty to another nation. Islam's own self-story is that we will take you over. It's totalitarianism, masked as a religion.
It's one of my favorite riffs from
That was
Charlie.
hot.
Matt Walsh, we have about 2 minutes before Welcome Back National Radio here. Your reaction to what we just heard from Charlie?
Well, as usual, you hit the nail on the head, and we need to start speaking about it in those kinds of strong terms, because yeah, that's the thing. I used to myself, I've admitted this before, that when I would hear conservatives worry about things like Sharia law coming to the United States, I used to think, well, I'm not as worried about that because we have leftism. Like, leftists are the opposite of Sharia law. But it turns out that concern is completely legitimate because, of course, obviously it's going to come, as Charlie pointed out, through mass migration. And these are people who they're just not interested in assimilation, which is another key difference between immigration today and immigration 100 years ago, 150 years ago. There's no interest in assimilating into an American identity. In fact, these are people that reject that America even has an identity, and to the extent that they acknowledge an American identity, they hate it. And so what do you end up with when you bring people like that into this country? You end up with, chaos. Here's the question you have to ask yourself as an American. Does anyone want to live in a country that is more like the Middle East? Do you consider it an improvement? The more we resemble the Middle East, is that an improvement? And I think every single American, every single one would say no.
Apparently, a lot of Muslims feel that way because they don't move to those countries.
Yeah, there are 50-plus Muslim majority nations on the planet. 50-plus. And for whatever reason, they want to move to the Western nations. I think we could speculate. I don't think it's actually very speculative why they want to choose Western nations. Obviously, it's the quality of life.
Actually, let's fix it on that, because it actually is not speculation. We have, when they were building one of those Islamic centers in, I think it was the one in Michigan, where they were gloating about the fact, we can build roads and have them named after great Islamic conquerors. They are quite aware that they are in a rising demographic tide. They brag about the fact that they are growing and growing and growing and gradually taking over these countries.